So, hello everyone. Uh, in my previous module, I told you about bakery, what is bakery all about, and what you are going to do in bakery science and technology, right? A bakery, it's an emerging science. It's not only an art, it's a science, and it's an emerging science. And lots of innovations are being done in bakery itself. It is a rapidly growing industry in our country, and the industry is the largest of industries with an annual turnover of rupees 3,000 crores. And India, it's the second largest producer of biscuits in the world. Biscuits you all relish, and bread. Bread once was considered as a sick man's diet. Whenever you suffer from fever, a mild fever, you are being given bread along with dairy, along with milk. And because it was considered that it's a lighter food, it's going to help you in your digestion. When you suffer from fever and you have some digestive problems, you can have some digestive problems. Even then, the bakery items were considered too good to be consumed. But now it has become an essential commodity for everyone. Everyone is capturing the innovations, the novelties in bakery science. So it was earlier a sick man's diet, but now it has become a essential food item. And from the later part, I also told in my previous module that in the later part of 20th century, the bakery industry is growing. Why? Due to the demand of ready-to-eat foods because of rapid urbanization, increase in working women, and this urbanization has led to the increased per capita income as well as increased population rate. So students will be discussing about bakery and the current scenario of baking in India in this very lecture. So let's start with the lecture with my presentation. I'll be starting with the presentation. So just go through the slides, and wherever you find any difficulty, we'll be having a question session round after the presentation so we can have the discussions after that. So let's get started. So students, welcome to the very first lecture of your syllabus in bakery science and technology, and we'll be starting with the introduction to baking industry, the what is the current status of bakery in India as well as abroad. So first of all, I've always told you in my previous lectures also that bakery, it holds an important place in food processing industry, and it is a traditional activity. Now, why bakery? Why bakery is considered so important, or it has been considered an essential food item for the present consumer? Bakery itself has high nutrient value. It's not only cereals that are being involved in bakery, but many other food items. They are also the part of bakery industry, and with innovations and fortifications. I'll be telling you what is fortification in my coming lectures. So by fortifications and enrichment, it can be made a very nutrient rich diet. And second important thing, it is affordable. The prices are pocket friendly. Then it has become an item of huge consumption. You can anywhere, anytime, in every party, you can find out the bakery items on the board. Then a large number of women workers, they are increasing. Working women has captured this market because I, being a working woman, I cannot prepare every time. I cannot prepare the food, and so I have to get it half done or fully done. So these bakery items, these are ready to eat, ready to be served. And the foremost important thing, the fluctuating eating habits of the people they require, they need actually innovations, novelties. So that is why bakery have gained popularity among people, and it has contributed significantly to the growth of bakery industry. Now, in my previous slide, I talked about fortification. Now I'll be telling you what is fortification all about. Fortification actually is the addition of those nutrient components which are being missing or which are not present in your food item. The incorporation of those nutrients is known as fortification. Just say for example, you might have come across iodized Tata salt. So this iodine is being added into the salt. So this is fortification. And this is to satiate the burgeoning appetite of health conscious Indians, because every Indian is now becoming health conscious. People are now being aware of the food and what type of foods they have to consume, what are the therapeutic diets. So this plays a very important role in bakery industry to fortify the foods of like you can fortify breads with many other cereals so that you can get the properties of those cereals also in your products. So this is fortification, and a number of healthy products have been launched in the bakery segment, and these are gaining popularity at a very high rate. The mounting presence of bakery chains has further triggered the growth in this sector. Now, if I talk about Indian scenario, India is the world's second largest producer of food next to China, and it has the potential of being the biggest with its food and agriculture sector. Indian bakery industry is the biggest section in the country's processed food industry. Bakery products including breads and biscuits, although this is not only confined to breads and biscuits, so many new products have now come into the bakery itself. And these breads and biscuits from the major big foods, they account for around 82% of the total bakery products produced in our country. So there is an abundant supply of primary ingredients which are being required by the bakery industry. Those primary ingredients, they include cereals, they also include dairy, they include salts, they include oils, they include so many other food items. Then the third largest biscuit manufacturing country is India. After United States and China, India is the third largest biscuit manufacturing country. Now, if I talk about bakery, everybody, everybody thinks of breads, biscuits, and cakes. Right? These things they come under bakery industry. So these are the broad segments. Although bakery is not confined to breads, biscuits, or cakes, it is more than that. So these are the broad segments: breads, biscuits, and cakes. And there are two major sectors which we can say have captured the bakery industry. These two sectors, we can divide these two sectors as unorganized sector and organized sector. Now, individual bakers, like in tiny sectors, they cater to the requirement of their local markets, and the second organized one, like industrial bakers of the fast moving consumer goods, they fall in the major industrial units having market operations in many parts of the country. India's organized bakery sector produces around 1.3 million tons of bakery products, and while the balance is produced by unorganized small scale manufacturers. The rest is being produced by unorganized small scale local manufacturers. And besides this, there are many automatic and semi-automatic bread and biscuit manufacturing units in India. And many people, they still prefer fresh bread and other products from the local bakery. That is why local bakers, they are being benefited from this industry. And with the advancement of multinational companies who are selling pizzas, burgers in the country, and the changing tastes of people, this has captured the market. Now we talked about innovations. So bakery is not restricted to only breads and cakes. Lots and lots of innovations are being done in bakery, and so many products they are being capturing the market, like pizzas, burgers, and so many other products being innovated day by day. So there is an increased competition among industries, and moreover, because of the establishment of baking bakery cafe chains like Barista, Cafe Coffee Day, Monanjins, these have also increased the competition among industries, and this has an added advantage to bakery industry itself. So the popular biscuit variants in India like glucose biscuits, Mary cream biscuits, crackers, digestive biscuits, cookies, milk biscuits, this also has gained popularity among people. If I talk about Indian biscuit market, the shares of branded and organized sector are 60% and the shares of unbranded and unorganized sectors are 40%. And major players in this sector are Parle, Britannia, ITC Foods. They have captured the markets to a greater extent, with Britannia holding the leadership position. Britannia is at the lead. If I talk about market share in terms of value, Britannia and Parle they account for around 38% share each of the total volume of branded biscuits marketed in India. And Britannia Industries, with an expected retail value share of 9% of the baked goods category, proved to be the most successful player in 2013. And the baked goods they're expected to grow by constant value at a compound annual growth rate, which we call as CAGR, compound annual growth rate of 2% over the forecast period. Now I talked about organized and unorganized sector, and these unorganized and organized bread players they contribute. If I talk about breads, so organized captures 45% and unorganized captures 55% of the total bread production. The organized sector comprises around 1800 small scale bread manufacturers around India and 25 medium scale manufacturers and 2 large scale industries. The branded packaged segment in this sector was estimated to be worth rupees 17,000 crores in 2012, and it is going to be expected to grow at 13 to 15% in the next coming 3 to 4 years. So 3 or 4 large size players like Britannia, Parle, ITC, Cadbury's, they constitute around 75% of the market. The bread and cake market is much more fragmented with multiple regional and local players. You can very well see so many local bakers manufacturing cakes, and they all are selling like hot cakes. And the major players in bread segment like Britannia, Modern Industries Limited, and they hold around 90% of the market share. And this 90% is being captured mostly by Britannia and Modern Industries. And so, apart from these two large regional players, such as Spencer's in South India, Kitty and Bond in Punjab, and Harvest Gold and Perfect in Delhi, and NCRs. The bakery industry in India has witnessed an annual growth rate of more than 15% during the past years. And you can see an immense growth potential in the global and domestic markets. The unorganized bread sector comprises an estimated 75,000 bread bakers which are mostly located in the residential areas of cities and towns. So the rest 35% of the total production comes from the small scale sector with around 1500 to 1800 units in operation. Although bread industry is a low margin business, cost control is crucial in sustaining profitability in the long run. So students, this was all about the Indian scenario of bakery industry.